got to talk about the top 10 collector's cards that you might want to pick up from Rarity 5. Make sure you guys smash the link crap out of that Red Eyes Black Dragon button so you guys don't miss out more. Honestly, the Red Eyes Black Dragon stamped is actually very, very simple. Now, the reason why we have to start with Red Eyes is Red Eyes is the one that feels like he gets the least amount of love anymore. You know, Joey Wheeler was a very pivotal part of the anime itself. And I mean, he was kind of the underdog for most of it. So I think, quite honestly, the Red Eyes Black Dragon will have a special place in everybody's hearts. And it's probably going to be one of the cheaper Starlights that are going to be available in the stamped side of the set itself, which is just fine, actually. You know, people hearing, oh, you know, I can get a Red Eyes, not particularly expensive. And I mean, like, these arts are not exactly the craziest things. I'm not going to be the first person to tell you that these stamps, you know, might not be the greatest for collector's sake, but there are collectors out there that are going to want to pick up some of these great pieces, which of course brings us to Dark Magician Girl and Dark Magician. Any Dark Magician Girl that we have seen time and time again tends to be worth something. Even look at the umpteen printings that we got of every Dark Magician Girl from the quarter century set. Every one of these tended to maintain some sort of value. This is nothing new in the world of Yu-Gi-Oh! That these particular cards do the thing. And also, you know, Dark Magician is going to be receiving some, you know, much needed future support here in the upcoming, wherever we're going to stick these overframe cards in the TCG. So I do particularly recommend that, you know, if you do like the Dark Magician or the Dark Magician Girl and you want to add it to your collection, this is going to be a great opportunity to do so. Like, genuinely, the Dark Magician Girl will probably be one of the best collector's cards long-term from this set, just because it's a DMG, and it says OK on it. And then, of course, we have Blue Eyes White Dragon. This is kind of interesting. Blue Eyes always, and I mean truly always, carries one of the biggest premiums out of these sets. And I would not be surprised that, you know, this ends up being a very similar scenario here, where, you know, this Blue Eyes White Dragon just actually is worth a crazy amount. Look at the OTS Ultimate Rare, for example. You know, granted, I mean, that was the first time that we were able to get those, and the OCG very much was jealous of us. So they were reaching out to try to get those. This Blue Eyes, on the other hand, yes, it is a classical art, but, you know, it just has a little bit of text added onto it. So of the three, I do think Blue Eyes will maintain, and Dark Magician Girl will be the two biggest of the, you know, normal monster squad, because they're the ones that people tend to really enjoy the most. Now, Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. So, Blue Eyes Toon Dragon, we've already kind of seen that an overframe version of this is going to be coming out later on in the year, and it doesn't look good at all. This is one of those particular times that I will say, like, if you want to play Toons, maybe picking up a Blue Eyes Toon Dragon Starlight Rare here isn't necessarily going to be a bad idea, because you don't have to deal with the clunky overframe that's going to come out. Now, you do have the knowledge that that overframe is going to be coming in the future, which means, as an educated consumer, you can make your decision. Do I want to pick this up now, or do I want to wait? And obviously, you know, Toons they are a very, very, very big fan deck. The fact that they did pump the Toon Starlight Dragon into this is actually very, very hilarious. So I'm looking forward to actually seeing where the market's going to go on this, and I do think it's a pretty good collector's piece. We have the Egyptian Gods. So, the novelty of the Egyptian Gods is kind of an interesting one, because the gods have been printed so many times at this point that it just kind of feels like they're not the most exciting thing anymore, which really stinks, man, because I do feel like the gods are one of the cooler collectible items that this game has to offer. But when you're in the landscape of the current market and you're looking at something like, you know, how could the gods possibly settle in the market? Well, I mean, Cypher is a fan favorite. Obelisk is probably the most playable, and the Winged Dragon Ra just has too many forms to make it relevant. But To the collectors, I think this one is going to be a very, very, very big pickup for them to want to have. So we'll see where the Egyptian gods go, but I am leaving it on the collector side because I do envision that there is going to be some movement on those. Wake up your elemental hero. So the extended art cards are a very interesting topic of conversation. And with it, you know, the hero players have some of the deepest pockets of people that I have seen so far. And I cannot imagine that we're not going to see this card actually kind of go up a decent amount, because it truly is a gorgeous overframe. It's one of those cards that you just look at and you're like, wow, you know, like this card is so nice looking. I think hero players have been kind of cutting this card too, so that might actually help some of the value kind of push down on this card. But because you're going to be dealing with the initial hero tax that comes along with this for the collectors that do particularly love this card, I think that's going to be a long-term problem that we're probably going to be seeing. Which brings us to Shooting Quezar Dragon. Now, Shooting Quezar Dragon doesn't technically have the hero novelty around it, but there is enough novelty around 5Ds itself that I think we might actually see some relatively crazy stuff happening in that regard. 5Ds is a great anime, and the Shooting Quezar Dragon itself, unfortunately, it's not as playable as it is. But there's going to be people out there that are going to look at this and they're going to be like, I want this for either like older formats, nostalgia's sake, or just because like maybe they do try to want to play it in a modern deck. To be fair, Stardust Dragon has upgraded itself into so many different forms at this point that I would not be surprised to actually see, you know, some sort of discussion be had with this along the way. So I am leaving this on the collectibles for that sake. And then we have the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Dark Magician player tax is another crazy concept in this game. If you don't think that this Red Eyes Dark Dragoon for the Starlight High Rarity isn't going to be worth something, I have some very, very bad news for you. I think players are going to be very shocked when they start to see, oh, hey, you know, is that a Starlight Full Art Dark Dragoon? That's the other thing, too. Like, the one thing that might actually help kind of keep this card down is we've already got a QCR. We've already got a Starlight of the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. These are not, you know, necessarily like crazy upgrades to see, but to the Dark Magician player that does want, you know, that higher rarity, they're going to be paying that premium to make sure that they can get that, and they will be able to enjoy that. So that's kind of something to keep in mind here long term is, you know, we're going to have to wait and see how the heroes, Dark Magician players are all going to handle this. And then I put Super Poly very high up here. This is not only just a collector's card, but it's also very nostalgic to the anime, and a lot of players are going to want the full art for this card. Personally, I think I've seen the Japanese version in person. I think the Starlight full art of this card is going to be beyond gorgeous. They did such a good job on Super Poly itself. Like, trust me when I say this, it is a 10 out of 10 gorgeous card. It's very simple for an effect too, which might detour some people from, you know, the personal desires to have these. But in terms of collectors, I mean, like, all of the extended arts are going to be preferenced to what you want. I just think that, like, these are the main emphasizers within the set that you're gonna want to look at long term, just to kind of see, oh, hey, you know, maybe this is actually worth it. Now, the last thing here is your favorite stamped card. The stamp set is not for everybody. It was never meant to be for everybody. It's a luxury style of product that gives you some very nice potential rarity upgrades that you can add into your collection to be able to work with, and that's all it was ever going to be. I do love the idea and concept that, you know, you can pick up whatever stamped version you want for player preference. You know, that somebody's going to want to play a fully stamped blinged out deck. It's going to happen. But, you know, pick within your own preference of what you think is going to look best for you. So these are the top collector's cards that I kind of recommend keeping an eye on from this set, just to kind of see where the set's going to go long term. So please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. You guys have a good rest of your day, alright? Patrons! Thank you!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.